We're not getting the Canon EOS R1 this year, not according to the latest rumor. The camera that Canon was due to make a splash with this spring is something else, and we won't likely get the R1 until 2022. This and more after the intro. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And to make things just a little bit more exciting, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can watch this video here. But please look at the terms and conditions, as there are some age and location restrictions. And now for today's news. There's been an awful lot of anticipation around the Canon EOS R1 full-frame mirrorless camera, Canon's flagship stills fast action camera. Sony released the Alpha 1, their new flagship fast action camera. We got a development announcement from Nikon for their flagship camera, the Z9. But so far, nothing from Canon. Canon Rumors reports that a source with a pretty decent track record has reached out and told me that an exciting new RF mount camera is coming early in the second half of 2021, but it's not going to be the Canon EOS R1. I feel your disappointment already. I know what you're thinking. When will we see the R1? When will we get a development announcement? The R1 will likely get a development announcement, but won't be available until the first half of 2022. Sorry to disappoint. I hope I haven't taken the wind out of your sail for today. This news goes against everything we've heard to date. So what's this camera that Canon plans to make a splash with? What could possibly excite the market more than the Canon EOS R1? Is it an APS-C R system camera? Or what about a high megapixel version of the R5? Could it be a replacement of the EOS R, an EOS R Mark II for example, or an entry-level R system camera designed to replace the RP? We'll have to wait and see. Canon doesn't have a launch date yet as they continue to battle supply chain issues, but they want to get it out as soon as possible. Craig speculates it could be a high megapixel version of the R5. I'm just surprised that we won't get the R1 until 2022. We've been hearing rumors dropped since, the third quarter of last year? But then again, with everything that's gone on since last year, I'm not completely surprised. But I can't see Canon completely bypassing the Olympics. So stay tuned. As soon as I know more, I'll let you know more. But one thing I do want to talk about a little bit here. Sony's already gone ahead and released the Alpha 1. Nikon's made a development announcement for their Z9. Both of these are the company's flagship stills hybrid fast action cameras. I can't see Canon letting this go unanswered. I can see them coming out with a development announcement, and this has happened before. Look at the 1DX Mark III. They provided a development announcement back in October when they eventually released the camera. I think it was back in January of last year. So there was a 5 months of where we had the development announcement and when we actually had the announcement. So I would expect something to come out development-wise pretty soon. But will we get a detailed development announcement like we did with the 1DX Mark III? Will it be like something that other companies put out where they just basically give you an outline and say, hey, yeah, we're working on it? Well, Canon, we know you're working on the Canon EOS R1. Sony's already got their flagship camera out there, so why don't you give us a detailed development announcement like you did with the 1DX Mark III? That would really go a long way. But that's the problem with rumors. It's kind of hit and miss. It's not always easy to get things right, but you see, that's part of the problems with rumors. A, they're a rumor. We don't always know the sources, and even when we get them from credible sources, we've had some pretty challenging times since going back to about February, March of last year with COVID-19. So we do have a lot of constraints going on. We do have a lot of issues that we have to deal with. So even when the rumors come out, we're kind of taking them with a huge grain of salt. Now, apparently Canon was supposed to be getting their production issues and other issues underway or fixed and taken care of by about this time or by the end of April. But according to this rumor, they're still having trouble. So it's really kind of hard to say. All I can do is do my best to report the rumors as they come out, report what sources they're coming from. And usually what I try to do is avoid anything that's really just pure speculation, with the exception of the R1 CR0 that I talked about 2 weeks ago. And the reason I put that one out there is because it gained so much traction in the media that I felt it was important to address it. And now, let's go behind the scenes. I just sold my iMac Pro. Now this might not be a complete surprise to you if you've been watching all my videos, But a couple of weeks ago, I said I want to sell my iMac Pro, and this is the reason why. This is my second winter shooting in the basement. It is cold down here. It is very cold down here, and sometimes my fingers get so cold and turn purple, including my lips, that I have trouble actually pressing the right buttons, and I make mistakes, and I'm just pretty miserable, as my wife would say. So it's not the type of computer you want to move around all the time. The iMac Pro, it's pretty heavy, and I thought, you know what? They've already announced the M processor for the MacBook Air, the Mac Mini, and the MacBook Pro 13-inch. And Apple's also said that it's going to be their default architecture for all their new computers. So the writing was on the wall. I decided, instead of sticking with an old architecture, which the iMac Pro is still super fast, I can edit 8K video without dropping frames. But I wanted to move to first of all, a mobile platform where, I can be anywhere I want in the house. If it's a sunny day like it is today, I can sit in my Lazy Boy and edit and not feel like I'm away from the world or away from my family. Plus, that M architecture is fast. There's no thermal throttling. There's very little overheating. And I'm sure that the MacBook Pros will have more memory and have fans so that they can just eat 8K video like it's butter, just like the iMac Pro. And if you'll notice that Apple did discontinue the iMac Pro, that just further tells me that these chips are fast enough that when you buy one of the new iMacs with the M processor in it, you're probably going to get the same performance levels or very close to the iMac Pro. So while it's not widely known that Apple is getting rid of the iMac Pro, and while it's not widely known that the new MacBook Pros are going to have these M processors, I thought I'd sell it while the market's still good. And I did well. I actually got $3,000 US for it, if you can believe that. Well, based on the current exchange rate, it's $29.60, but still, that's good enough for me to go out and get a 2020 MacBook Pro 16-inch without paying any extra. So I'm just going to wait. Now, I did want to show you some more content in this video. I wanted to show you some of the new entries into the Spring Challenge video, but I don't want to make this too long because now what I'm going to be editing on is one of my old 2015 MacBook Pros and a 2014 Mac Mini. And these aren't very fast machines. I have no idea how well it's going to edit this video coming out of the R5, the 4K HQ. And if it does go well, I'll keep editing. Otherwise, I'll switch and start editing in full HD. I mean, you're really not dialing in to watch me in all my glorious detail, are you? Certainly not. You're here for the news and rumors, and just a little bit of humor. So just bear with me over the next couple of days. I'm going to see what works. I'm going to test things out, and we'll keep going. But I do want to draw your attention to the Spring Challenge. We've got just about 2 weeks left, about half a month left for you to write or to produce your own Spring Challenge video. And just as a reminder, the winner of the Spring Challenge will get a 512 gigabyte Angelbird CF Express card as well as a card reader. And that's a pretty big deal. So go ahead and submit your videos. I did get 2 extra entries this past weekend, so go ahead and look at the comment section of this video here. And if I'm able to edit this video pretty easily on my MacBook Pro, then what I'll try and do in tomorrow's video or the day after, whenever I get more news, I'll show you guys those videos, or at least a little bit of a review of them. The one sad thing I can't do is the people that have put together these videos have put some music as a soundtrack behind them. And sadly, because of copyright, I can't include that because I get smacked. I learned that from the Spring Challenge last year. While you guys might have the copyright license for it, I don't. Unless, of course, you're using YouTube, then let me know you're using YouTube and I have the same license, and I can let your music play. So stay tuned for that. 2 more weeks, and we get to find out who the winner is of the Spring Challenge. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128 gigabyte AV Pro MK2 V90 UHS-2 SD cards, along with a dual UHS-2 card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, underwater lights, and various other flat panel lights that you can use for lighting your subject, or as a great starter kit for starting your own YouTube channel. I'll be awarding these 2 prize bundles once the channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. And then I'll be awarding other prize bundles all the way up to 100,000, at which point I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.